Hello and welcome to the Retro Skeptic blogs. I am, of course, Manny the Retro Skeptic, and I'll be bringing to you my top favorite albums of 2013. It was an interesting year for music. I mean, we had new Kanye, we've had new Beyonce, we had new Britney Spears and Katy Perry and Miley. Ugh, don't remind me. But all in all, we did have the best years in music in recent memory. I mean, to be honest, the good outweighed the bad. So without further ado, let's get to my top choices. Now, these are going to be my top five. My top five. This is all opinion based. If you guys have something different, please leave a comment below or off. Let's get to it. Number 5, Childish Gambino's Because the Internet. Reason why I like this so much, and it's been on replay since it came out late last year. To me, it's like the perfect example of what happens when you want to make an album completely your own, do it your own way, produce your own tracks, sort of on lines with what Tyler the Creator kind of does with his own collective being a unified front in the music production and the composition and everything else with the project. Childish Gambino kind of does the same thing with Because the Internet. I will give the album these gripes though. You did not have or find out that there was a screenplay for this album. You're gonna be completely lost with the direction. It's kinda all over the place, but for the most part, I like it. Sounds great. Trap music influence, a lot of scope. This album has a lot of scope. I could give the mixing a pass. I mean, it's it's not the best. There's a lot of distortion, but I think that's what he was going for. Now my next one is gonna have to be Ariana Grande's Yours Truly. You know, we've been through all this before. The new person to come from the Kids Network, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, whatever it may be. And here comes Miss Ariana Grande. And we're like, oh, she's cute, but can she sing? Oh, she actually can. Yeah, that's one reason why I like it. Very rich, Broadway-esque voice. This girl can actually hold a note and sing. Very Mariah Carey-esque. Her choices in writing, it's bubblegum pop, what you gonna do? But for the most part, it's pretty okay. It's honestly one of the best things to come out of last year when it comes to the pop music. I mean, we got like earlier that I'm not gonna repeat. Let's move on. Number 3, we have Justin Timberlake's The 2020 Experience Part 1. Not the second one, not the second one at all. Oh, this album brought me back to when I was maybe first starting out in my music career, maybe when I was like about 14, 15, and all I did was listen to Timbaland's Shock Value Volume 1. Those beats, I just love Timbaland, and I love his choice and his sampling and what he uses to sequence his beats together. And those are all prominent in the 2020 Experience Part 101, especially Strawberry Bubblegum and Tunnel Vision, which is honestly one of my favorite songs of the year, hands down. Really don't like his choice in putting in a second version of this album, which honestly is not up to par with what the first one did. But kind of like a good buddy of mine said, you really think Justin Timberlake is going to give us over 2 hours of music within a year and not try to make any kind of money out of it? And granted, the 2020 Experience Part 101 was the top selling album of all of last year, but would there have been a big difference in it? So. Number 2, Yeezus. Kanye West Yeezus. And yes, I know I'm gonna have a lot of for this, but I don't care. I love this record. I think people gotta get out of the mindset that it's not a rap album. Yes, there's rap elements in it. It's very rap-esque and as is written with the intentions of being a rap album. Secondly, firstly, it is an industrial album. And that's what Kanye West wanted to do. He wanted to make an industrial album with rap elements, which obviously is not gonna fly wide with his hardcore rap fans who want him to revert back to the old sampling days where he would pick a sample and he would rap over it like he did when he was first starting out. He does do that in one of the hits, Bound 2, but I would like to see more in this style of music coming out of someone like Kanye West, where he could turn anything and turn it into gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, come on. And last but not least, we have our number 1. Now, if you think the hardcore fan base of Kanye West was turned off from Yeezus, then the hardcore fan base of the band that I put for number 1 on my top albums of 2013, their fan base, they were upset. And I'm talking, of course, about Daft Punk's Random Access Memory. Disco album that came out in 2013 is my top #1 album of 2013. And do you want to know why? I grew up with this kind of music. I don't have an afro. I'm clearly not in the 70s. How could you say that? Here's the thing. It's pure nostalgia to me. When I hear funk riffs, when I hear groovy bass lines, when I hear 4-on-the-floor drum beats, it all brings me back to when I was a kid and we had our dad living with us. That was his era. Disco, funk, all that stuff. And I grew up listening to all that music. I grew up listening to Earth, Wind & Fire. I grew up listening to Bee Gees. I grew up listening to Donna Summers. I grew up listening to all that music. So to have an album come out like that in 2013 by the same duo who are kind of revered to bringing techno and electronic music into the mainstream, if not on a worldwide basis, during the turn of the new millennium, that's saying a whole lot. It really did touch me, and it really did bring me back. Just almost everything on this album is perfect. From the mixing, from the composition, to the arrangements and some of the string orchestrations. Those are damn near great. Like, not just disco, not just funk, but progressive rock elements, Broadway, bombastic, big orchestration style music, choirs, timpanis, all that stuff is in this record, along with keeping the core fundamentals of what Daft Punk is usually known for. They have said it in many interviews. The music that they were composing from the time that they got their first start till now has all been based around this era of music. So then why not have their aforementioned return from 2005's Human After All, and then go and do this disco record? Now, it did piss off a lot of hardcore Daft Punk fans because they're expecting, well, Daft Punk music, not this disco stuff. But you know what? I like it. It's my favorite of last year. And I want to know if you guys actually agree with me or not. Right on the bottom, hey, if you want, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave whatever you want. This is the Retro Skeptic, Manny Garcia, signing out. Peace!